In the heart of every object, every cell, and every breath you take, lies the atom. For centuries, it remained invisible, a mystery too small to imagine. But when science finally broke its code, humanity discovered not only the power to illuminate cities, but also the power to destroy them. This is the story of how the atom was unleashed. The journey began over 2,000 years ago, when Greek philosophers like Democritus imagined the universe was built from tiny, indivisible particles atoms. A fascinating idea, but it would take millennia for science to catch up. Fast forward to the late 1800s, and the invisible world finally started coming into focus. J.J. Thomson discovered the electron, a tiny particle with a negative charge. Then, Ernest Rutherford, in a brilliant experiment, uncovered the dense, positively charged core of the atom, the nucleus. But the picture wasn't complete. It was James Chadwick who revealed the neutron, the neutral particle residing in the nucleus alongside protons. This was the final piece of the atomic puzzle. With each discovery, scientists were peering deeper into the building blocks of reality. But hidden within this newfound knowledge was a force of unimaginable power, waiting to be unlocked. The pivotal moment arrived in 1938, in a lab in Germany. Scientists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann were bombarding uranium with neutrons, expecting to create heavier elements. Instead, they found something completely unexpected: lighter elements. They were stumped. They sent their findings to their colleague, physicist Lisa Meitner, who had fled to Sweden to escape the Nazis. It was Meitner who had the aha moment. She realized the uranium atoms weren't just chipping. They were splitting apart, releasing a tremendous amount of energy in the process. She named it nuclear fission. This was the key to unlocking the energy stored deep within matter itself. Even more astonishing was the realization that each split atom released extra neutrons, which could then go on to split more atoms. A self-sustaining, explosive chain reaction had just been discovered. The world of physics, and soon the entire world, would never be the same. As war clouds gathered and then burst over Europe, the scientific community grasped the terrifying potential of their discovery. A controlled chain reaction could power a city, but an uncontrolled one could create an explosion beyond all imagination. The fear was palpable. What if Nazi Germany, the birthplace of fission, were to build such a weapon first? This dread spurred a group of refugee scientists, led by Leo Szilard, to take action. They enlisted the most famous scientist on Earth, Albert Einstein, to lend his weight to their warning. In a now famous letter, Einstein alerted U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt to this new and terrible danger. That letter didn't just land on a desk, it sparked one of the largest, most secretive, and most consequential scientific endeavors in all of human history, the Manhattan Project. The race against time had begun. Under the utmost secrecy, the Manhattan Project mobilized the nation's industrial and scientific might. Across the United States, in hidden cities that sprang up overnight, thousands of scientists, engineers, and workers were gathered under a single, urgent mission to build an atomic bomb before their enemies did. At sprawling facilities in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, they constructed enormous factories to painstakingly separate the rare, fissile uranium-235 isotope from its more common cousin. At Hanford, Washington, they built massive nuclear reactors to create a brand new element, plutonium, which was even more potent. This was science on an unprecedented, industrial scale. At the epicenter of this whirlwind of activity, in the remote desert of Los Alamos, New Mexico, stood the brilliant and enigmatic physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer. He was tasked with leading the team that would design the actual device, a gadget that would either prove humanity's ultimate mastery over nature, or tragically, end it. On July 16, 1945, in the pre-dawn darkness of the New Mexico desert, the world held its breath. Scientists, soldiers, and engineers watched nervously as the final countdown for the world's first atomic test, Codenum Trinity, began. At 5:29 a.m., the device detonated. In an instant, night was blasted into day. A searing flash of light, brighter than 1,000 suns, illuminated the mountains miles away. It was followed by a colossal fireball, a self-luminous cloud of superheated plasma that churned and rose into the sky, forming the terrifying, iconic mushroom shape. The ground shook as the shockwave rolled across the desert. Humanity had officially entered the nuclear age. As he witnessed this awesome and terrible sight, Oppenheimer later recalled that a line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, echoed in his mind. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. The theoretical had become terrifyingly real. Just weeks after the Trinity test, in August 1945, the world witnessed the weapon's deployment. The first atomic bomb was dropped on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. 3 days later, a second was dropped on Nagasaki. The explosions were catastrophic, leveling the cities in a matter of seconds. The blasts and the firestorms that followed brought an end to the Second World War, but they came at a staggering and devastating human cost. The quest for knowledge, which had begun with the curiosity of ancient philosophers, had culminated in the creation of the most destructive weapon in human history. The immense power of the atom, once hidden deep within the heart of matter, was now unleashed, a force capable of shaping global politics and determining the very fate of nations. The genie was out of the bottle, and it could never be put back in. In the years that followed the war, the world stood at a critical crossroads, grappling with the dual nature of its newfound power, the potential for total destruction, and the promise of incredible discovery. The same fundamental science that had created the bomb also gave birth to revolutionary technologies. Nuclear energy began to power our cities, offering a new source of electricity. Nuclear medicine provided doctors with powerful new tools for diagnosing and treating diseases. The principles of atomic physics even helped propel humanity into space. Yet, the shadow of the bomb loomed large, fueling the Cold War and a constant debate over ethics, safety, and the very future of our species. The story of the atom is our story, a profound testament to human genius, but also a sobering warning about the responsibilities that come with it. From a philosopher's dream to the force that powers our world, the discovery of the atom has fundamentally reshaped human existence. It is a story that reveals the incredible heights we can achieve and serves as a permanent reminder of the wisdom we must strive for. Its legacy is complex, challenging us to harness its power for good while never forgetting the destruction it can cause. Thank you for joining us on this journey through science and history. If you found this story enlightening, please like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the ideas and events that have changed our world. See you next time.